Good morning to all. Welcome back to Manoj Ambat Worldview. This week, we discuss the topic: what if the Rafale deal that India wants to buy doesn't go through? What are India's best options available? Rafale jet has proved to be one of the IAF's best platforms available, with good weapon system, sensors, and electronic warfare systems. India plans to buy 114 Rafale jets, with a significant number to be built in India. India also wants to integrate several Indian-made weapon systems, sensors, and also integrate the aircrafts with India's IACCS, that is Integrated Air Command and Control Systems. But India needs access to the source code to integrate all the network and also India's indigenous weapon systems. The negotiations are going on for quite some time for buying 114 aircrafts of Rafales from France. But reports suggest that the integration, the demand of India for access to the source code is now stalling the negotiations. Source code and software are one of the most important and most classified part of any weapons deal currently. All major weapon systems rely on software and also source code. But India needs the source code to integrate its own weapon systems like Astra and also Rudram and other weapon systems. But France is reluctant to give the source code. France has always been India's very close partner. It has always been much more flexible than the other Western countries in giving access to high-end technology, especially for India. But giving up source code is actually years of work, intellectual property work, which cannot be given by any other power. So it is reported that France is reluctant to give the technology to India. Hence, if the deal doesn't go through, what are India's options? The first option is LCA Mark II, Tejas Mk2. Tejas Mk2 is in advanced stages of construction, with the first flight expected in 2027 and squadron induction between 2029 and 2032. But that is a little far off, and immediate squadron decline cannot be arrested. The next best option is to bring in the Indian Air Force to the TEDBF naval aircraft and a variant that is called ORCA. But the project is already mid through, and IAF has not shown much interest in participating in the project. ORCA is comparable to Rafale in its capability and weight and similar weight class, and carries a significant weapon systems. But bringing in the Indian Air Force and developing an Indian Air Force variant of TEDBF will prove to be time consuming, with many alterations required for IAF's use. The third option is to speed up the AMCA, Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, India's indigenous 5th generation aircraft. AMCA defines the future of Indian aviation, combat aviation. It is an aircraft that is 100% developed by India, with integration of all the Indian made weapon systems, sensors, electronic warfare systems, and other integrated networks. But AMCA will roll out only in 2029, and it will enter squadron service anywhere between 2035 and beyond. So India cannot wait until that time to arrest its declining squadrons. Then what are the best foreign options available? The first is the F-15 Eagle. But F-15 Eagle, even though it carries a significant payload and is one of the most capable aircrafts in the world, carries the threat of American sanctions and American permission to carry out any type of alteration in the aircraft. Source code will not be given to India, and thus integrating India's weapon systems and also India's network and network systems will be proved to be very difficult. The second system that is offered, the second aircraft that is offered is the F-18 Hornet, Super Hornet. But it is a carrier-borne aircraft and the development is in its final stages. So significant improvement cannot happen in the aircraft. Yet again, it being an American aircraft, the source code will not be available for India to make any type of alterations or integrate the aircraft with its own networks. The third option is Gripen E. It is even though smaller than the other aircrafts, it is very capable with a good software architecture and also a good weapon system. But the problem is that Gripen E relies on major American technology, and any modifications and alterations will require major American permissions. Hence, the best option for India currently is to speed up the Tejas Mk2 project if the Rafale deal doesn't go through. India should continue to negotiate with France for access to the source code. But if it doesn't go through, India should consider buying limited number of Rafales to arrest the squadron decline. At the same time, speed up the LCA Tejas Mk2 project and induct the same in a bigger manner. The medium solution will be to bring in the Indian Air Force into the ORCA project and do significant modifications and start development of the ORCA. ORCA is a very capable aircraft and it is comparable to Rafale in its weight and also capability. But finally, the best option on the long-term basis is to speed up the development of advanced medium combat aircraft AMCA because it is one of the most capable aircrafts in the Indian that is being developed by India. As I have already stated, source code is the most sought after software, and source code is the most sought after intellectual property of any country. India should develop its own aircrafts in the long term basis so that the source code can be protected, and also India's indigenous weapon systems, networks and also electronic warfare capability can be made completely compatible with the aircrafts. That is for this week. See you next week with another topic. Until then, goodbye.